Next tonight, the future of Prince Andrew as a Windsor resident. The under-pressure Duke has already been forced to give up his royal titles. Now there are calls for him to be evicted from the Royal Lodge. The estimated upkeep of the estate's buildings and grounds is believed to be around £5 million per year. And with the Duke no longer getting any royal subsidies, will he need to downsize? Our correspondent Simon Harris has this report from Windsor.
The House of Windsor is weathering another storm, but in the town which gave the family its name, royal routine continues. The changing of the guard was watched as ever by visitors, and it was hard to find any who think Prince Andrew should stay in his nearby mansion.
I don't think we should be paying for them. That's the bottom line.
I think personally he should get out of there. I don't think it's right, and I personally think he should be stripped of his royal title.
I'd have him move out. Yeah, should have taken his title away from him as well.
As a resident, we love the royal family. Love coming to the castle, but I think Andrew should just step away and go live somewhere else and provide his own accommodation.
The Prince's secluded home, Royal Lodge, is in Windsor Great Park, a few miles from the castle. The property, said to have 30 bedrooms, belongs to the Crown Estate. Photographers waited outside the gates today, hoping for a glimpse of him. Official records show the then Duke of York signed a 75-year lease on Royal Lodge in 2003. It cost him £1 million, but it's how much rent he pays every year which is now under scrutiny. It's said to be one peppercorn if demanded per annum. If he gives up the lease, the Crown Estate would have to pay him around £558,000, and the lease doesn't expire until 2078.
We are proud of being a royal town. The Royal House takes its name from our town. We're very proud of that association, and we want that to continue. But I think him being at the heart of Windsor Great Park, I think the time for that is over.
Prince Andrew was accused by Virginia Giuffre of being one of the men she was forced to have sex with. He's always denied the allegations, but last week agreed to give up his title of Duke of York.
First of all, I just want to say thank you all for turning out.
Miss Giuffre, who was trafficked by the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, took her own life earlier this year. But now in a posthumous memoir published today, she's revealed what happened to her at the hands of other men over a number of years.
The thing she always said to me about her memory was, I may not remember particular dates, times, days of the week, but I remember, as you would, if there's a man on top of you raping you and his face is 6 inches from your own, you remember that face.
In Windsor's bookshop, the memoir quickly sold out. Simon Harris, ITV News, Windsor.
Good evening. It's been smouldering for years with pollution spewing over nearby homes. And almost every week, fire engines are called to put out flames at Launders Lane in Rainham. Residents complain the air is too toxic to breathe and has led to a host of health problems. Now, a High Court review has allowed the site to be officially declared contaminated. That could pave the way for the local council to take action to get the so-called Rainham volcano under control. Here's our correspondent, Simon Harris.
Autumn has arrived in Rainham, and for residents and firefighters, it's a welcome breathing space. Fires in the toxic dump on Launders Lane are at their worst during summer, when they deposit a layer of smoke over the neighbourhood.
It can exacerbate respiratory conditions, and indeed there's evidence that it causes those as well as a plethora of lifelong health conditions.
The smouldering illegal landfill has been a long-term menace. Madeline's elderly parents, Anne and Les, live opposite the site.
Sometimes they say they can't even see the other side of the road because the thick black toxic smoke is that thick. It's really affected their health. They're 75 and 83. And my dad's got asthma, my mum's got COPD.
No one can be certain what horrors are buried beneath the surface, but arsenic, lead and asbestos are known to be among the lethal deposits. Now, in a change of policy following a court case, the local council, Havering, has agreed to formally designate the site contaminated land.
Now the council have to do something about it, so they will have to engage with the landowner to see if they can get a plan to clean it up. If the landowner won't do what is necessary, then the council can actually go onto the land, clear it up themselves and then try and recoup the cost from the landowner direct.
That could be a very long, not to mention costly process, so the council is looking at an interim solution.
On a temporary basis, what we're putting forward is to basically have a sort of what they call a sort of polymer coating of the land, which effectively would stop the fires, not permanently, but probably for 2 to 3 years.
In the last 3 years, firefighters have been called to Launders Lane 160 times. Little wonder it's known locally as the Rainham volcano. Simon Harris, ITV News.
The Mayor's been allowed to backtrack on affordable housing targets in an effort to tackle London's housing crisis. Until now, developers have been able to use fast-track planning if 35% of their projects are affordable homes. That will now be cut to 20%. Sir Sadiq Khan and the government believe it will ultimately get more homes built. But critics say the Mayor has failed. Here's our political correspondent, Simon Harris.
Jay would love a place of his own. He's an artist stuck in rented accommodation in Finsbury Park because of the shortage of affordable homes. And it's having a profound effect on his life.
It's one of the reasons I've been putting off having children in previous relationships, you know, but until I feel secure in where I'm living and having a home that I could have children in.
But house building in London has stalled. Under the Mayor's rules, in any development of more than 10 homes, 35% must be affordable, which is why the firm converting a disused garage in Hendon into flats has chosen to build just 8.
It could be the difference between viability of a scheme and non-viability of a scheme. If I was building 100 homes and 35% of those have to be affordable homes, it could completely throw off the profit margins and then render the scheme unfinanceable and unviable to us.
The affordable homes target was a key part of Sadiq Khan's first mayoral election campaign.
Half of all new homes that are built from now on must be genuinely affordable.
It was in his 2016 manifesto. Sadiq Khan promised 50% of all new homes in London would be affordable. By the 2021 election, that figure was down to 35%. And today the target was watered down even more to 20% as part of a series of emergency measures agreed between the Mayor and Housing Secretary. Were you wrong to promise 50%?
Not at all, because when you look at 2016 to 2024, look at the records we broke in terms of council house building, homes completed, but we face a perfect storm in terms of the pandemic, in terms of construction inflation, in terms of high interest rates.
The government thinks the Mayor should deliver almost 88,000 new homes a year, but last year fewer than 5,000 homes were built.
He often suggests that he's breaking all records, and he clearly isn't. From any objective analysis, the Mayor has failed to deliver the homes that Londoners need.
Do you have a number of new homes in London that will say this policy is a success?
We're looking at around 80,000 homes eventually in London once the stimulus gets going.
But the Mayor seemed less confident.
There has never been a time in London's history where 88,000 homes were built in our city. Never.
Tonight, some of Labour's political opponents accuse the Mayor and the Minister of cozying up to developers. Simon Harris, ITV News, Westminster.